Well, hi everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to more Zooming in the Jungle Room. It is, of course, Adelaide Fringe, and we are thick in the middle of it all, but it's not over yet. We've still got another week and a half, and the best is yet to come. I'm not even kidding, because he's been called the Prince of Comedy. I call him the King of Comedy. Everyone say hello to Joe Creasey.
Oh, thank you very much. And I have to say, those plants look divine. My partner's we've got like I think maybe 80 or something indoor plants, and he takes care of them. But I have a good eye for them as a result, and yours look very, very healthy.
Well, of course he needs to look after them because you are a very busy man, Joel. You are freaking everywhere. Nova, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is currently in Melbourne, which is going
Yes.
gangbusters with Jason Donovan as well, of course.
Oh,
And then you're about to kick off your national Australian tour with Boom.
yeah, it's been hectic. I've been doing like when days we have a matinee at Rocky, I'll do matinee, then I'll go and do the radio show, and then I'll come back and do the evening show. And then because I have to get ready for my stand-up tour, I'll then go out and do a couple of comedy gigs at night. So my mornings are very, very quiet at the moment.
Uh,
But it's, after what we went through the last few years, it's a joy to be doing it. And people keep saying, "You tired?" I'm like, nah, I'm loving it.
you've got energy to burn, right?
Yes, yes, too much. I'm like a Jack Russell.
But don't you feel it's such a great time in arts and entertainment again that, we are embracing, I feel like as a society all around Australia, maybe even the world, that we actually need this entertainment and this humor again, right?
We really do. And it's every night, like say at Rocky Horror when the prelude plays and the band start up, it's that feeling of sitting in a theater. And it's the same as my live stand-up shows. I really curate my pre-show playlist and the vibe I want in there. And it's I describe it as, if you bought a ticket to see me, to come and see my stand-up show in Adelaide or wherever, I'm very well aware that not only have you paid for the ticket, you might have booked an Uber, you might have gone out for dinner, babysitters might be involved. So I always, no matter how I'm feeling, want to give the best show, and give people a little. I always describe it as a little holiday from whatever they're going through. I want to give people a little holiday from life for an hour and an escape. And it's a privilege, I guess, to be able to do that.
And doing, what you love as well, of course, right? At the same
Yeah. Oh, stand-up comedy is like therapy that you get paid to do. So when I'm on tour, my therapy bills are a lot lower than normal.
Hey, I'm going to take you way back. First time I ever saw you do a stand-up show in Adelaide was at the Alka Bar. And that was literally, you'd just come off of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Oh, I remember the shows very well. I remember the Bar.
And then the last show I just saw you in was only at Christmas time, just last year, 2023, with, of course, Reese Nicholson, your mate, which was a Christmas show, which with a humongous, ginormous blow-up reindeer.
Oh, yes, you got the reindeer. The reindeer didn't arrive for some cities. The reindeer arrived very late,
It was a really fun
fashionably
show.
late.
Did you enjoy that show?
Oh yeah, Reese is my genuine best friend. I was one of his best people, one of their best people, sorry, at their wedding, and the wedding was in true Reese and Kyron style, very fabulous and very over the top. And yeah, it's that doing that on stage and having started out together doing stand-up when we were both babies, both 17, we actually pinch ourselves backstage and go, can you believe we're doing this? We're on the road together. And then we actually ended up selling it to Binge, and it was a televised Christmas special. And yeah, it's just a joy to work with Reese. So and we're very different people. So I think we complement each other quite well.
The reviews of the show was just spectacular.
Oh,
Now, I
thanks.
mean, you also were on Prime earlier last year as well with your Queen of the Outback tour. Queen of the Outback show, which was for the Broken Hill Festival. So you've just had everything going on. Well, first of all, a Prince of Comedy. I'm calling you the King of Comedy, and now you're Queen of the Outback. You've got all the titles. What more do
I
you
know. Well, given that the royal family are all out of action, I'm waiting for the call up to do some official engagements. But yeah, the thing about the Queen of the Outback show was you normally film stand-up specials in theaters where you can control all the elements. That was 4,000 people down the main strip of Broken Hill. There were food trucks, there were fireworks going off. There's drunk drag queens on the balcony heckling me, and it was tough to do, but ultimately a joy. And that Broken Heel Festival is so much fun. Had we been able to, we would have gone back just as punters last year. It's wild. And to be in Broken Hill as well, it's just so beautiful and progressive and nice to see. Just how the world's changed and is so much more accepting.
Now, I mean, you've done a lot, Joel, in, your career has just been blossoming and blossoming over and over every single year, whether it be working with, Joan Rivers, working with Cher, huge.
Yes.
What's one of your proudest moments? And I'm sure there are many, but what's one of the moments that stick with you that that was good times?
I don't think I'll ever be able to top Joan Rivers. It's she was my idol growing up, and then to be handpicked by her to be her support act and develop a friendship, was just it's something that I can't describe. I just adored her, and she was the most humble, giving, gorgeous person off stage, completely different to her stage persona. She was an equal opportunity offender. And she used to do this thing after shows where she'd ask me for advice on stand-up. And I would have just watched her show and I would have known what punchline she'd chosen. But it was more of I was a baby. I started doing stand-up with her when I was 21. It was just to pump my tires and make me feel good. And those little acts, I don't think she realizes what a huge impact it ended up having on my life.
And you started when you were 15, didn't you? Your first stand-up
show?
I
started when I was a baby in Perth. So my parents used to have to sign me in to all these venues because they were licensed venues. So it's not very rock and roll when you turn up with your parents, and also not very rock and roll when your mum's the heckler being thrown out by security.
Hey, without getting too heavy, and obviously we're keeping all this lighthearted because it's comedy, but obviously one of the big things at the moment is this cancel culture, and we're seeing so many comedians getting wrapped over their freaking knuckles at the moment. Most recently, I'm not sure if you heard about this, but just last week, Amos Gill, an ex-Adelaide boy that now lives in Los Angeles, has been through his dramas with the Adelaide Fringe. With members, but he ended up conquering it all and cancelled cancel culture last week when he recommended.
I didn't know that was possible.
I will tell you all about it when you get here.
Great.
But my point is, has anyone come at you for anything that you've ever said, and how have you dealt with it?
Oh, people have come at me, not for things I've said, but for just for being me. I get quite told that from some people, I get told I'm too camp. Then I get told from other people that I don't do enough for the gay community. I'm like, well, I'm an openly queer person appearing on commercial networks, talking about my partner casually, not saying, oh, my gay boyfriend, just casually talking about my boyfriend, which I think 15 years ago on TV wouldn't have been very common. But I sit in a space in stand-up where, because all my stories are autobiographical and about me, I never really enter that space of politics and whatnot, purely because I'm not smart enough, but also because when you come and see my show, I just want to make you laugh. There are comics that are much more qualified to discuss the heavy issues. I just kind of want to talk to people about the Real Housewives and Taylor Swift.
Give me the gossip, baby.
Oh yeah, but my show is just an hour of gossip. It's basically sitting on the couch with your gossipy friend. That's what my job is. It's like coming to one of. I always say that my stand-up shows are like going to a dinner party and there's that friend that doesn't shut up, that's me. So when my friends come and see my stand-up shows, they're like, oh, this is just like having dinner at Joel's place.
Why do we have to pay for this? We could have done it at his dinner party last week. Yeah.
Oh, well, I can assure you my friends don't pay. They're always hitting me up for comps. So
Life as an entertainer.
yes, yes.
I know we're almost out of time. Let's get to the crux of what we're meant to be talking about, Mr. Boom. It is actually kicking off its Australian tour in Adelaide for the Adelaide Fringe, which will be running from the 11th to the 17th of March in the Garden of Unearthly Delights. Joel, tell us about Boom. What can we expect?
Well, it's I haven't done a new stand-up tour in 2 years. So I've and because all my shows are autobiographical, I've had 2 years to build up some pretty wild stories. So I've got a story about being held hostage in an Airbnb in LA. I'll be talking about, I've had 2 Eurovisions, one in Torino, one in Liverpool, that I'm going to be telling people behind the scenes stories of. Real Housewives reunion. I've got a daughter now. She's a dog, but I've got a dog called Girlfriend who now runs the house. So yeah, lots has happened in the last 2 years, and it's basically a catch up when you come and see me. It's like I always say, I've got a lot to tell you, and this year more so than ever.
Joel, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to catch up. It's going to be fun. So obviously, like I said, everyone, the 11th of March, which is 5 days away. Get your suitcase packed.
Oh my gosh, the stress, because it's that Monday night will be the very first time I've done it. So I'm madly geeking around town, just putting it together. I think I've got a pretty spectacular closer to the show. And the garden is so iconic and so much fun. And I love the sound of the roller coaster going by while you're trying to tell a serious story. But it's that's the delight of Adelaide Fringe, and I can't wait to get back.
Well, I cannot wait to see you here. I'm gonna come on opening night, and we're gonna have.
Oh, okay. Well, please take notes and give me your feedback.
I will totally, my friend. Joe, you are always a pleasure. I hope you have the most amazing, successful Australian tour with Boom.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in town. Thanks.
I'll see you then. We've got lots to catch up on.
Oh, we have.